gentlemen, we're here with a brand new episode of On the Water with Cody Wiesmiller, and today I'm using a brand new Megaflex by High Tech Fishing, and you'll never believe it, but this rod is 9 feet long. It's 9 feet long, I'm not kidding you. What we're doing is we're casting straight out into about 20 to 30 feet of water, and we're leaving our bobber set at about 3 feet. Now all this is, for a jig, you've seen what a normal chartreuse jig head looks like by Kalin's or something else. All that is just, mini size. So it's kind of hard to describe, really. All I can say is just picture like the smallest jig head you can find. Taped with the wax worm. And then we're using a rocket bow. We got to get that thing way out there. The bluegills, that's where they are. They're as far out as they can get there. We're planning on keeping a few. Now the thing I like the most about this Megaflex rod is because this thing has so much bend. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's got so much bend, and you know what? This is just perfect for long distances. This is a perfect crappie rod too. And another thing I like about this is when I go carp fishing, this is a perfect carp fishing rod because of the extended handle. Got the extended handle, and you got so much flexibility in the rod. It's not even. It's seriously unbelievable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a few casts out here, and I'm sorry if this video isn't any good, but it's really hard to get a decent pan fishing video in because, bobber and, whatever. It ain't like I'm casting. Anyways, I hope you guys bear with me and enjoy this episode of On the Water with Cody Wiesmiller. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with On the Water with Cody Wiesmiller, sponsored by High Tech Fishing. Again, we're using the 9-foot Megaflex ultralight rod. Again, things I like about it, the extended handle. And we're about to take our first cast of the day. It's our first cast at bobber's way out there. Right now I have this on a Fluger Tryon, I believe that's what it is, a Tryon GX7 rod, or reel. And I have equipped with an 8-pound test. Now 8-pound test for pan fishing sounds a little too extreme, but the reason why I'm using 8-pound test is because out there is a lot of weeds that just come below the surface of the water, and these bluegills are sitting right in them weeds. So it's important to have that heavier line to actually horse them through there. Not only that, but if I get a bass or if I get a northern on, I also want to have the line strength to keep them on my line. Right there, we got our first fish of the day. Oh my goodness, this rod, I wish you guys could see how much bend in the rod this has. Another good thing about these rods, the benefit of a 9-foot rod is that you can keep them up higher. You don't have to, so that way they don't go right down in the weeds. Now this is a pretty nice bluegill. We are keeping a few to eat today. Now this is a little too small, but it's a really fat fish. We're fishing at a private pond today. You've probably heard me say it a couple times, but we're fishing at a private pond known as Sandmar. Now the reason why we're keeping a few, now this pond you can't keep fish out of it, but the reason why we're keeping a few, I asked permission to keep a few because I just want to see if these fish are healthy, if they've got any parasites that I should know about, if anything else like that. I care a lot about this pond. I care a lot about our ecosystems, and it's nice to know what's going on with the fish, how are they doing. So it's not all about the food either. I'm checking their health, I'm checking, anything else, anything else, So we're going to take our second cast of the day. Hopefully get a few more nice bluegills to eat. But as I was saying, these bluegills are in these weed pockets, and if you can get it just right, most of the time they're right there, right on it. Got our second fish on of the day. This feels like a nice one. Or never mind, no it doesn't. Oh no, now it's just putting some fight to him. No, if you want to get behind the camera and if you want to get behind me so the people can see how this rod really works and how it's beneficial, that'd be great. Get another nice fat fish. The growth rate in this pond is unbelievable. The first time I was here, I saw bluegills that were probably about 5 or 6 inches or so. You know, something like this. And a fish like this for sandmar is easily going to be about 9 inches in the next year or two. A lot of people out there don't believe it, but because this is a private pond and it's not fished, all the fish have is room to grow. And there's plenty of food for them in here. Everything is all natural in this pond. Natural weeds, natural bottom, natural water. This pond right here is spring fed. Everything is completely natural in here. This is probably the most non-polluted, most natural place to fish that you will ever find. So Noah, if you want to kind of follow the camera around, kind of get a glimpse of the whole rod put together. You want me to go right here?
No, should I put this right there?
No, just follow me with
Yeah.
the camera. You guys want to see, is the whole rod visible?
Yep.
Okay. 9-foot rod, taking our third cast of the day. Again, the extended hand allows me for further casts, more power in my casts. It allows me to keep the fish up higher so they don't dig down in the weeds and come off. This is a very great rod, guys. I highly suggest going to High-Tech's fishing website, icefish.com. You can probably look at our summer catalog. Or what you can do is email High-Tech Fishing and see how you can obtain one of these Megaflex rods for yourself. Another thing I want to talk about too is your drag. I got my drag set really light. These bluegills, even though they're panfish, if you get an 8-incher on or above, these things can give you one heck of a fight. Just like this one right here. This is a good fish. This is a really good fish. These bluegills have a lot of power to them. They're basically dinner plates. The power that these bluegills have is unbelievable. See, now this is only about a 6-inch bluegill, but this thing had me going. You know, it did get wrapped up in the weeds a little bit. It did have me wrapped up in the weeds a little bit, but these fish have a lot of power. If there's a lot of oxygen in the water, and if there's everything necessary for them, they can put up a really, really great fight. To me, I love to catch panfish. You know, if the bass aren't biting, I'm probably sure I can get some really nice bluegills to eat or to catch. But you know what? Most of the time for me, it's all about the fight. It's all about the fight of the fish. It's not always about keeping everything you catch, like a lot of guys out there. They hit a spot, they find the bluegills, go back one day, go back that same day, keep their limit. And they go back the next day, keep their limit, and they keep keeping their limits, and then they go back there all of a sudden the next day, and they're all gone. Well, whose fault is that? It's the people that keep keeping everything they catch. Now this pond is about, I'd say about a 5-acre pond, about 3 or 4 or 5-acre pond, and this pond at the deepest gets about 35-40 feet. Now, at the same time, even though it gets that deep, you still want to make sure that the fish are thriving in population. You still don't want to make sure that you lose all your big ones. That's why most guys suggest catch and release. Keep the smaller ones, let the bigger ones grow, and that way you still have a good population of fish, keeping up the year class, making sure that you have a good spawning year, and whatever else. Hope you can catch a couple more fish for you. I want to get one of the big bluegills on camera for you guys. They're in here. See that? Just got wrapped up in nose line here. Alright, we're straight out. I don't know if the camera can see that, probably not. But we're straight out about another 40 yards. 30, 40 yards. Straight out. Now, when I'm bobber fishing, most of the time I like to leave it sit there, but I'm naturally an impatient person. So every time I leave it sit out there, I don't leave it sit out there for long. For me, I'm a power fisherman. I like to cover water fast. I'm a fast-paced fisherman. I love to catch bluegills, but when I got a bobber sitting out there, I don't like having it out there very long. The wind's coming straight north right now. That was a fish, maybe. I didn't see it. Wind's blowing straight north. It's blowing the bobber in. So really, when you have some better wind conditions, most of the time you don't even have to move your bobber, because if you got high enough wind, and if it's coming right at you like this, most of the time you'll cast it right out there, and it's just letting that bait drift. So that's a situation where you don't even have to move the bait. So while we were here last night, we had a big bluegill break one of my friends off, and as I'm looking out there, I still see the bobber floating out there.
It is.
It's floating out there, right there.
Oh, it's off too.
Just something I just noticed. Weird, these bluegills were here and whatever, but last night my friend kept 32 of them. They weren't the monster bluegills, but at the same time, 32 of them is a lot. He did have other people with him, by the way. But 32 is a lot of catfish. What I did was I had to readjust my depth. These fish were out deeper. That's a better fish. Nice color to him. Now really quick, I want to talk about something. Oh yeah, This is a good one. Now this I wouldn't mind keeping. Oh, you just took a piss on my shirt. Now this I wouldn't mind keeping. But anyways, while we're gonna keep a few today, right here is probably about a 7.5. Like I said, you want to keep the smaller ones to eat. Noah, I'd pay close attention. You don't know how to use a strainer. Just go right in, out the mouth. Take this. Go through this little ring. Now, when you're using strainers, it's kind of important not. I stay away from strainers as much as possible because the fish don't live as long. But because I forgot my basket, that's what we're gonna have to deal with. So anyways, another great thing you can do with this rod is it's good for placement. Placement meaning you can place it in one specific spot. I know a lot of guys when they fish in heavy cattails and heavy weeds for crappies, they just place it really nice in there. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Pretend my bobber wasn't on there, and you're just going to drop that jig down really slow. And when the fish hits, hopefully your rod is sensitive enough just to feel that hit. Now again, you gotta kind of pretend my bobber ain't on there. You just let it down really slow. And then the fish hits it. All you gotta do, you don't want to set the hook, you just want to start pulling up. Anyways, I'm gonna take a few more casts out there, see if we can't get any bigger fish. Something you gotta watch for too is to make sure the line doesn't get wrapped around the tip. Make sure everything's alright with your rod. Now most anglers out there, they don't really pay attention to how the rod works. They don't really care how the rod works. But for me, I really take great pride in taking care of my rods. I want to make sure they're fully operational. That's a fish. See, sometimes it's just that little thing, going shallow or going deeper, just to make sure the fish will bite. Again, this 9-foot rod keeps the fish up higher in the water column. And with a nice flimsy rod like this, you don't have to worry about hoisting the fish up. You just hoist them up and you'll be set to go. Again, not a huge fish, but we're doing some bluegill fishing today. Again, this is a high-tech fishing Megaflex rod. Great rod for other applications like trout fishing, carp fishing, and even sometimes in cases bass. If there's guys out there who are really good finesse anglers and they want to use a light rod and long rod, I'd say go with the Megaflex. Again, 9-foot rod, ultralight rod. Another great thing about this rod too is that the guides are really big, and what that allows me to do is it allows me to use slip bobbers. You don't have to worry about the little slip bobber tie on there. You don't have to worry about that catching any of the guys. You can just cast it out there nice and easy, worry-free. And that way your line doesn't get frayed or anything else like that. It's a very great rod that High Tech Fishing came up with. Excellent rod. And as you can see, it can catch fish. And everything I've said about it so far is true. Again, you can go to icefish.com, email High Tech Fishing, and what you can do is you can figure out how you can obtain one of these Megaflex rods yourself if you don't have a dealer near you who can where you can buy one. I'm a little frustrated right now. Noah got his line wrapped up in mine. Pretty soon I'm gonna have a fish on. Guys, if you're in a small space and if you're using bobbers, try to keep everything as straight as possible. Okay? I don't know if the camera can pick up where I'm casting, but that's easy. 35, 40 yards out there. Again, these fish fight really, really well. Noah's just using a bare hook. Again, I'm using that really, really tiny jig head. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll get back to you in a little bit once the fish start to pick up a little bit. And until then, this has been On the Water with Cody Wiesmiller, sponsored by High Tech Fishing. Ladies and gentlemen, we got on top of some more fish. We got another good one right here. Well, it's alright. Believe it or not, but that bobber that was out there, I actually got ahead of the bobber and I saw him going for it, and then all of a sudden my bobber went under. So there must be a school of bluegills about like this, and they're all going after they're all going fighting for food. Again, we're just using a wax worm, and what I do with my wax worms is I just go up by the head and I throw it around the hook. Just like that. Noah just caught a really nice bluegill earlier. Probably about 8.5. See, now this little guy has this thing choked. He has it legitimately choked. I usually just go in. I hold the fish upside down. Usually I go in. You know, like that. He's bleeding a little bit, but he ain't too bad. Now I got wrapped around the freaking thing. Maybe it didn't. Back in.
You can see the bottom.
Yeah, I know. As I was saying, what I was trying to demonstrate earlier was the placement method. Now pretend my bobber's not on there. Just gonna let this thing fall slowly. Now I can already see my jig. Most of the time it's just you slowly place it in there. And you kind of just wait for the fish to just give it a little tick. I don't know why they're being iffy about this right now. I can see them down there looking at it. Maybe it's the bobber. I don't know. I'm gonna take a little pitch over here once. I really want to get one of them bluegills on camera for you guys. That would be something else to get one of them on camera. But this pond is known for monster bluegills. They're in here. I think you gotta get them more later on at night though. That's when they bite the most. I was hoping they'd bite a little bit this morning, but they did. Now this is a pretty good fighter right here, but as I was talking earlier about admiring the bluegills for their color and their fight, just look at him. Like, he's a little fish, but I mean, you gotta admire it, you know. Be thankful that you have fish like this, you know. Because maybe one day they might not be there. I have a little hole set up underneath the dock where I was throwing out these fish. I think I'm gonna try to get one right now. Maybe I can, maybe I can. Yeah, whatever. ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's show of On the Water with Cody Wiesmiller. We caught quite a few panfish. We couldn't get one of them big monster bluegills on camera for you guys, but I got to show you an amazing rod. I got to show you this wonderful pond, this wonderful ecosystem. I got to show you a couple nice gills. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode, and it's all sponsored by High Tech Fishing. Now next time, I hope to see you out on the Water with Cody Wiesmiller.